nowadays basically they have reduced asking terminologies. Why? Because most of the terminology almost they have asked. So asking them again is going to be a repetition. That is how we find in UPSC. So the question is that they are important in terms of they can be mentioned in the questions. It is not necessary they can ask the way they used to ask questions on terminologies. This. So just to show how they used to ask. So first year means 2013 they asked this 5 terms, 3 marks each, 15 marks question they ask. Integrity, perseverance, spirit of service, commitment and courage of conviction. Indicate 2 more means 7. This, that way. So 2 more attributes which you consider important for public service. Justify your answer. 7 को डिफाइन करना है, उसके बाद भी जस्टिफाई करना है. This. So that was, let's say, this. Next. They have asked, let's see, integrity without knowledge. This combination they have asked 2 times. Integrity and knowledge pairing. This. The integrity without knowledge is weak and it is dangerous. This is how it is. What do you understand by this? Explain, etc. This. Then how the virtue of trustworthiness and fortitude. This is how to say this. So get manifested in public service. So from today's yardstick, these things will be less challenging. बच्चे काफी बहुत ही aggressive तरीके से लिख देंगे आंसर. They are so prepared now, right? This. So that used to be, let's say that. Then why should impartiality non-partisan? Then this question also they have asked at least 2 times. Impartiality and non-partisanship. Values, service, especially present in socio-political context. That also people will have. Then transparency, accountability, fairness, justice. Again, courage of conviction, spirit of service. So both 2 are repeated. This. Then one of the tests of integrity is complete refusal to be compromised. Explain with reference to real life example. So again it is not challenging. आप बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल है आपके पास लिखने के लिए आज के डेट में. Discipline generally implies this is how subordination. This it is discipline related. Then you can see what they have asked that state the 3 basic values universal in nature. This. In the context of civil services. And bring out their importance. It बहुत ही आसान है. They can write 3 values. Then they ask public interest क्या है? What are the principles and procedure to be followed by civil servants in public interest? तो principles क्या होगा? Procedures क्या होगा? Procedures तो conduct rules होगा. Principles क्या होगा? Nolan का bill 7. Right. So that way, what are the basic principles of public life? अब आपने पूछ ही लिया है पहले तो उसी को लिख देंगे बच्चे. Nolan Committee 7 principles. Right. Illustrate any 3 of them. So that is how it is. Let's say. Then identify 5 ethical traits which can one plot for the performance of a civil servant, justify inclusion of the matrix. तो किसी भी 5 वैल्यूज को लिखो, जस्टिफाई करो कि क्यों होना चाहिए. हो गया प्लॉट. दिस. अब 10 लेट्स से एसेंशियल वैल्यूज. ठीक है. 3 to 5 to 10. Needed to be effective public servant. So they know it describe the ways and means to prevent unethical behavior in public service. First part का second part से कोई link है नहीं. First part में 10 count करना है, second part में आपको दूसरी कहानी लिखनी है कि how we can let's say this Then again, this is how he told that impartiality, non-partisan. So should impartial, being non-partisan, be considered indispensable qualities discussed with illustration. Now again, integrity is a value that empowers the human being. Yes, and justified with suitable illustration. So this, then this is how they are moving towards complex nature. Let's say this. Apart from intellectual competence, moral qualities, empathy, compassion are some of the other vital attributes that facilitate civil servants to be more competent in tackling crucial issues or tackling critical decisions, explained with suitable illustrations. So that is how, let's say that कि you will find I think thereafter ये change हो जाता है values in civil service, public service, दूसरा chapter आ जाता है, right? सो दिस विल चूंकि दिस कंपाइलेशन है पुराना है, नए वाला में और भी ऐड होगा उसमें, बट देन टर्मिनोलॉजीज टाइप विल फाइंड दैट ये ग्रेजुअली दे हैव राइट कि दे हैव रिड्यूस्ड टर्मिनोलॉजी टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आस्किंग and they have more of applied, let's say that. Still we have to know, you should know, because you have to apply them. Since already we have taught, पहले we used to teach पहले शुरू में ही we used to teach terminologies etc. Now we have changed, तो now you know lots of things. आपके पास बहुत सारे examples है, बहुत सारे quotations है, which you will be able to relate. Yes, तो इसमें भी वैसा ही है. In new compilation also, it ends there if you take 2022. This, so yes, thereafter उन्होंने पूछा है दो चीज़, moral integrity and fortitude and moral intuition. Moral fortitude and moral intuition, that they have asked. So this way, let's say that when we can talk like the moral integrity is also, let's say already integrity they have asked, so that cannot be considered that challenging. Now, so we'll take, means we'll talk a bit of aptitude, then we'll talk, let's say, other things, let's say. So when we talk about aptitude, the aptitude deals with, basically, it is so how good one is, let's say, it is related to attitude. How competent one is, it's related to aptitude. So how we will know this, let's say, aptitude a bit. So if you take aptitude, let's say, any person, let's say skill, intelligence, that way we can consider. So anyone, let's say that skill if you talk, intelligence you talk, this you can say this, or any other, let's say, type talent you can consider. So they are related to aptitude, right? Like कोई भी फास्ट बॉलर है, फास्ट बॉलर है, राइट, एंड यू गेट मीडियम पेसर. कोई भी बैट्समैन है, तो विराट कोहली क्या है कि एक एप्टीट्यूड है, this he has the aptitude of that batting. Sachin Tendulkar had the aptitude of that batting, and similarly Lata Mangeshkar had aptitude of that singing. This is to know this. So let's say that you cannot have another Sachin Tendulkar, this you cannot have another Virat Kohli. This machine cannot train human to become like Sachin Tendulkar. You can clone human, but you cannot clone Sachin Tendulkar. Right. You can clone human, but you cannot clone exactly Sachin Tendulkar. जब क्लोनिंग आया था तो ऐसा ही न्यूज आया था कि वो अब तो सचिन तेंदुलकर का भी क्लोन हो सकता है। राइट। बट क्लोनिंग से, जीनोम से बहुत सारी चीजें हो गई, बट आज तक कुछ हुआ नहीं। राइट। Anyhow, so the question is that कि let's say कि why it is, why that they have that kind of ability, whether they have got that ability by training. If they can get that ability by training, तो anyone can get by training. Right. This, but you cannot get this ability by training. That you have to understand. That is when a thing you cannot get by training, it shows it is an inborn talent. It is something natural. This way, in that human. Right? Can we say?
So ultimately we are shaped by society.
Right. Nature nurture debate. Right? Nature. नेचर नर्चर डिबेट काफी पुराना है। राइट। तो नेचर नर्चर डिबेट, यू नो, आर यू अवेयर? नो। राइट। तो एक तो मूवी भी है ना इसके ऊपर, वो जंगल बुक। जंगल बुक है, कैपलिंग, क्या नाम है उनका, रुडियार्ड किपलिंग। राइट। जंगल बुक, मोगली और क्या है मूवी, लेट्स सेट। तो do you think that when a child is reared in forest among animals, the child will be like animal? आपके हिसाब से तो एनिमल होना चाहिए उसको, मतलब एनिमल जैसा होना चाहिए उसको, isn't it? बट ऐसा हुआ नहीं। हालांकि मूवी इसके ऊपर वो है नहीं। राइट। बट लोगों ने ये कोशिश किया है साइकोलॉजी में, सोशियोलॉजी में तो मुझे नहीं पता इतना ज़्यादा, बट साइकोलॉजी में लोगों ने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है। देयर आर psychologists who did experiment of children getting reared in forest and among animals. This, but that child will learn some of the things of the animals, but child will, when grow, child will speak. Animals cannot speak. Yes. So environment may not necessarily shape us. Some of the things are natural. Can we say? Some of things are natural. This way. That is how it was proven. Right? This. Environment क्यों नहीं shape कर सकता? उसका रोल, कोई भी चाइल्ड है ना, बहुत ही अर्ली स्टेज का बच्चा है, आप उसको जितना भी केयर करना है, ट्रेनिंग देना है, नर्चर करना है, कर लो, लेकिन वो बोलेगा जब उसका बायोलॉजिकल साइकिल ग्रो होगा, तभी बोलेगा। Isn't it? बट पेरेंट्स क्या चाहते हैं? वो जल्दी बोलने लगे। ठीक है। कुछ बच्चे लेट बोलते हैं, लेट, ठीक है, वो ऐसे ही ग्रो हो रहे हो, तो मोहल्ले के लोग क्या बोलेंगे उसको? तुम्हारा बच्चा बोलता ही नहीं है। पेरेंट्स को टेंशन हो गया। बट घबराओ मत, जब वो बोलेगा तो उससे ज्यादा बोलेगा। ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। तो व्हेन वी ग्रो, जैसे हमारा बॉडी पोस्चर है, आपका बॉडी पोस्चर है ना, ये एनवायरनमेंट नहीं डिसाइड कर सकता है। अगर एनवायरनमेंट डिसाइड करता है तो सबका बॉडी पोस्चर एक ही जैसा होना था ना। राइट। दिस वे, तो किसका हाइट कितना होगा, कैसा पोस्चर होगा, वो कुछ लोग बहुत ही थिन होते हैं, कुछ भी खा ले वो वो थिन ही रहते हैं, कुछ लोग कुछ नहीं भी खाए तो हाउ यू डिसाइड? अब मुकेश अंबानी का बेटा है, ठीक है, आप कुछ भी नर्चर कर लो, राइट? तो एक बार वो स्लिम हो गया था, इजंट है, फिर से हो, राइट? अब सोचा कि चलो भालू में ही रहो। सॉरी टू से, राइट, तो ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू हिम, राइट? आई गेस कि यू गेट टू दिस, राइट? तो नेचर नर्चर डिबेट इज वेरी ओल्ड डिबेट एंड बोथ आर, लेट्स से दैट की important. We cannot say कि one is not important, other is important. But there are some of the things which nature play, this you can say, and human has no limitations, control on them. Human has no control on. Human can bring a bit change in that, but human cannot alter it. जो alter होता है ना, one form to another form, right? जैसे हमारे देश में ऐसा largely होता है, let's say that, कि फास्ट बॉलर क्यों नहीं होते? Why we don't have fast bowler? Built ऐसा नहीं है, right? जबकि वी आर रिचेस्ट क्रिकेटिंग नेशन, रिसोर्स की तो कोई कमी नहीं है, बट फास्ट बॉलर कहाँ बॉर्न होते हैं? वेस्ट इंडीज, मतलब पहले। अगर नर्चर से फास्ट बॉलर आ जाता तो वेस्ट इंडीज में क्राइसिस नहीं आता, वेस्ट इंडीज में क्राइसिस नहीं आता, बट इसका एक जनरेशन था, उसके बाद फास्ट बॉलर वैनिश्ड हो गया। यस, तो you will have to wait for a person to be born, right? Isn't it? This that way. और एक नेबर हमारा कंट्री वहाँ, right? एक के बाद एक आते ही रहता है फास्ट बॉलर, जबकि उनके पास रिसोर्स नहीं है, they don't have resource. How it is? Right. Anyhow, so we have not done a study, we can tell in a general way, let's say this. Right. So this is what aptitude you can consider, that it is presumed that aptitude is something innate. This, even if we can train and groom, but it is presumed that it is innate. Just you should know that. जैसे कि some people can study even 18 hours, still they can be healthy and they can be not feeling tired. And some people can study 8 hours and still they can feel quite, let's say that ki, tired, and let's say ki other like this. Some people do lots of hard work, you know that. This, some people do lots of hard work, but still they remain as normal. This, how it is possible. Some people cannot sit, let's say, even 2 hours. This, so that way it can be. Although ki again ki society grows up, it grows up, and environment does play a role. जैसे कि आजकल के बच्चों में आप देखोगे कि बहुत ही शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड, फोमो, ये वो सारी चीज़ें हुई है, तो कहीं ना कहीं एनवायरनमेंट का भी रोल है। दिस वी आर नॉट सेइंग. So let's come to our point that कि aptitude is something which is linked to our skill, knowledge, expertise, etc. Simply because कि if bureaucracy lacks knowledge, skill and expertise, तो दो questions उस पे हो सकते हैं कि या तो ये उनका aptitudinal problem है, or let's say that कि they can be groomed and made expert. This. So both problems will be there. That's why you need lateral entry. This. Can we make bureaucrats as, let's say that, specialized as a person who has core specialist? Not necessarily. So when you can make it, you will train them. ये तो आप करोगे आप, मिशन कर्मी हो गई, but training has its limitation. Bureaucracy or administration has one serious problem. That problem is lack of expertise. This second is called lack of professional competence. The ability to perform. Do they have ability to perform because of environment they are not performing? Or they lack ability and then the environment they are making an excuse? This, both factors are there. This, do we have ability to face challenges of corruption? Or it is because of corrupt environment we become corrupt? Right. This, can we impart skill and knowledge when they qualify at 25 years plus? Like 26, 27 years. Can we mold their attitude? No, that is a challenge. So these are some aptitudinal questions, but questions have not been asked in that way. In fact, अभी तक यूपीएससी ने एप्टीट्यूड टर्म नहीं यूज किया है क्वेश्चन पेपर में. आई वंडर और वी वंडर कि उन्होंने मेंशन क्यों किया है. You will not find this term even in the question paper. This, so why they have mentioned it? We fail to understand. In past we used to teach, ठीक है, and we taught कि चलो अब आ जाएगा, अब तो we have lost hope. Hope कि कोई question आने वाला है. Right, so that you should know it. Although they have asked question on professional competence, they have asked question on knowledge and integrity, indirectly you can link that question. But there is no any question as even we have asked in बहुत ही पहले हम लोगों ने question दो term को link करके भी पूछा है, aptitude and attitude. But उस तरह से भी question उन्होंने पूछा नहीं. So we have even stopped thinking in that way. Right. Because basically let's say there are two types of examples given कि you can have some civil servants, let's say कि some civil servants who are very good in aptitude, मतलब वो काफ़ी skill है, expertise है, knowledge है, intelligent है, but whether that person is good administrator, whether that person is good administrator, not necessarily. But a person has good attitude, whether the person is good administrator. तो likelihood ये होगा कि ये होगा, likelihood होगा कि ये कोई leadership demand, better attitude. This, even if aptitude, leadership में तो पता है ना कि leadership, knowledge, skill, academic degrees, etc. they may not matter. Leadership does not demand intelligence as much as it demands, let's say, attitude and emotional intelligence. Right. So that is how there used to be. So there has been one psychologist in our country who studied. तो पहले हम लोग उनके book, to study it, I read that person book to understand the relationship between aptitude and attitude. And we used to incorporate some of those that from those, let's say, things of that book, but then we gradually discontinued. तो उस बुक में उन्होंने एग्जाम्पल ये दिया है कि एक सिविल सर्वेंट जिसके पास एटीट्यूड है, एप्टीट्यूड है, एक सिविल सर्वेंट एटीट्यूड है, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि ही विल बी इफेक्टिव दिस दैट वे. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, एज वी हैव टोल्ड अबाउट इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, इंटेलिजेंट क्वोशंट, कि both are important. We need both. This. So this is how the, let's say that, simple, let's say its relevance lies in the fact that whether civil servants that we have in our country, do they have ability problem, and whether they have ability problem, so can we address that ability problem by training only? This. And if we cannot address the problem by training only, then what should be done? Right. So you'll have to bring lateral entry, other things basically. Attitude तो नहीं होगा, इसलिए कि attitude can make you a good person, but attitude cannot result into having expertise in that area. Right. अगर आपको IT एक्सपर्ट बनना है, AI को समझना है, भाई उसके लिए तो इंटेलिजेंस चाहिए. Right. That demands intelligence. Right. तो ए पर्सन हु इज ए गुड पर्सन, उससे उसका इंटेलिजेंस से क्या लेना देना है, अनलेस द पर्सन हैज इंटेलिजेंस. अब बहुत सारे लोग मैथमेटिक्स में वीक हैं, राइट, तो वो अच्छा पर्सन हो सकता है, बट मैथमेटिक्स वीक है तो वीक है. यू कैन नॉट मेक दैट पर्सन लर्न मैथमेटिक्स बाय सेंडिंग कोटा. आई जनरली से दैट एक बच्चा जो है अगर उसको मैथमेटिक्स नहीं आता है तो यू कैन नॉट सेंड हिम कोटा टू लर्न मैथमेटिक्स. नहीं आता तो नहीं आता. बस जिसको फिजिक्स नहीं आता, केमिस्ट्री नहीं आता, नहीं आता तो नहीं आता ना. दिस वे, दैट वे वी कैन कंसिडर. द relevance of this topic is in that way. We can no doubt improve by training, but it will be difficult to address the problem of knowledge gap. That's why government will have to adopt other strategies. This much you should know. Otherwise, it does not have relevance. Right? Professional competence is also needed. So once they ask a question, how ethics can help in professional competence? So there was a time, let's take this topic to forward. There was a time, let's say कि अभी भी हमारा सारा जो सिस्टम है, as we told in intelligent quotient, so हम बहुत सारे टेस्ट को एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट ही कहते हैं. This you should know that aptitude test is basically not attitude test. Right. The aptitude test is your CSAT test. This. और CSAT का आपको पता ही होगा, isn't it? Basically, it is aptitude test, less attitude test. Yes. तो उस एप्टीट्यूड के लिए यू शुड हैव दैट लेवल ऑफ नॉलेज. फिर नॉलेज से नहीं होगा. स्पीड ऑफ रीडिंग, फास्ट कैलकुलेशन. दिस. और अगर आपको फास्ट कैलकुलेशन नहीं आता तो कोई ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप मैथ में अगर इंटेलिजेंट है तो आप फास्ट कैलकुलेशन करेंगे. फिर आई वॉज स्टडिंग, तो मैंने भी थोड़े दिन तक ये बैंक पीओ का होता है, बैंक पीओ दैट वी प्रिपेयर्ड. ठीक है. तो although I was good at mathematics, no doubt, but मुझसे एक लेवल के बाद फास्ट कैलकुलेशन नहीं होता था. उस समय जो टेस्ट पेपर आते थे एग्ज़ाम में, तो मतलब कि स्पीड आया था, बट कि स्टिल इट वाज नॉट टू ए लेवल. आई स्ट्रगल. मेरा रीजनिंग बहुत स्ट्रांग था, राइट, बट मैथमेटिक्स वाला पोर्शन आई कुड नॉट सॉल्व विद द स्पीड विच इज नीडेड इन द एग्जामिनेशन. ठीक है. और हमने काफ़ी प्रैक्टिस किया, बट हुआ नहीं. बस. लेकिन if you take people from Bihar, this people from Bihar, if you take, they are very fast in calculating the things. और स्टेट के भी हो सकते हैं, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है, बट आपको ये बता दूं मैं कि बिहार के लोग जो होते हैं, half of the selection in SSC and bank PO, it happened from only one state. It is called Bihar. This. Half of the selection. Yes, they are master. आप बीट नहीं कर सकते हो. वो कल्चर बनाया उन्होंने, इकोसिस्टम बनाया इस तरीके. आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करोगे, उसको आंसर याद है. तो That kind of thing you can find is, and so just I am sharing, let's say, my one weakness. So I always regret it because they will do mathematics very fast. बैंक वगैरह के एग्जाम में वही कंपटीटर होते थे सबसे ज़्यादा. अब तो चूँकि एसएससी का यूनिवर्सलाइज हो गया, जॉब और कहीं है नहीं, तो एसएससी इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ गया. एसएससी का प्रिपरेशन, हमारे समय एसएससी वगैरह कुछ होता नहीं था. होता भी था तो उसका कोई कोचिंग नहीं होता था. बैंक्स के कुछ कुछ कोचिंग होते थे, नहीं तो एसएससी का कोई ऐसा होता नहीं था. बट एसएससी इधर लास्ट 10 ईयर्स 15 ईयर्स में इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ा है, राइट, कि इट इज़, लेट्स से, ह्यूज. यू कैन कंसिडर लाइक दिस. एनी हाउ, तो there are some limitations we can consider कि you cannot improve this. तो that is what you can say aptitude. this. तो उसी तरह से अगर किसी का मैथमेटिक्स में स्पीड स्लो है तो बहुत भी एफर्ट्स लगाएगा तो उसको हमेशा चैलेंज होगा. अगर इंग्लिश कॉम्प्रिहेंशन चैलेंजिंग है, आप पढ़ लेते हो, समझ में नहीं आया कि क्या है, ठीक है, तो कॉम्प्रिहेंडिंग फास्ट होना चाहिए. इसलिए कि टाइम कहाँ है, मेन तो टाइम का है. बस, तो आप मेंस वाले में आपको इतना चैलेंज नहीं है. मेंस 3 आवर्स में लिखना, 3 आवर्स में आप किसी जीएस पेपर को लिख रहे हो तो आपको चैलेंज नहीं है. लेकिन सीसेट में दिस, तो दैट इज व्हाट वी कैन कंसीडर, लेट्स से दैट कि एप्टीट्यूड. anyhow, so taking it forward, what initially, let's say, कि government was trying to test skill knowledge, this, which we consider as competence, this. But then gradually it was realized that we need other types of competence. You can see that you don't need only skill and knowledge, you need also soft skill, you need also values, you need also emotional intelligence. So that became part of attitude. So this you can consider more as behavioral competence. And then it came to be known as holistic competence. This is how it is talked by DOPT. This. So DOPT has come up. This holistic competence has 4 A's. We say it as this: ethos, ethics, equity. This. So this efficiency is aptitude part, let's say. This. And others are attitude part. Yes. That is how you can see this. Right. So you can use it wherever it is having application, let's say. That's about holistic competence, because it is also being taught by now mission Karmi Yogi. Mission Karmi Yogi. So when Mission Karmi Yogi says rule to role, rule to role, तो role क्या है? Domain expertise. It is called domain expertise. And domain expertise is about competence. Mission Karma Yoga is improving your competence, right? But Mission Karma Yoga is also talking about Seva Bhav. Yes. Or we have told you, let's say it has 54 behavioral traits. It has 54 behavioral traits. This. It has 54 behavioral traits. When it has this, let's say 54 behavioral traits, so what happens? It is about soft aspect. It can be taken as largely attitude or emotional intelligence. So that way we are trying to make holistic competence. Even Mission Karma Yogi also want you to become holistically competent. Yes.
So acquiring emotional intelligence also requires aptitude.
Acquiring emotional intelligence, yes, थोड़ा बहुत तो होगा ही, let's say that, कि learning fast. Who can learn fast? Right. The learning fast can be done by a person who has better intelligence. Isn't it? Learning slow will be done. So that is how it can help. Means there should be aptitude, let's say. We cannot tell that we do not need aptitudes.
So, but according to thing we are studying now, it rejects Daniel Goleman's theory that 80% emotional intelligence and 20% aptitude.
Try to understand. That we told Daniel Goleman, those when we say 80% success depends on emotional intelligence, 20% depend on intelligence. Try to understand that. Okay, once you get a job, you get a job, then you go to the work, you go to a workplace. तो उस वर्कप्लेस में सर्वाइवल के लिए इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस है. Basically, this he is trying to say, right? To survive at this workplace, you need emotional intelligence. Not intelligent. He is not saying intelligent quotient is not important. But since you have to face a social environment, and in that social environment, only intelligence will not help you survive. Rather, it is your attitude which is going to help you survive. But generally, we told that, let's say, getting job, right? You need and surviving job. Right? So you take in that way, let's say. Getting job, you need the IQ. Without IQ, you cannot get a job. This, अगर आपको इसरो में वर्क करना है तो आपके पास इंटेलिजेंस होना चाहिए ना. आप कितने अच्छे इंसान हो उससे इसरो का क्या मतलब है. The person should be that intelligent enough. This now once you are selected, the selection के बाद जो आपके ऊपर प्रेशर होगा, right? Pressure that के payment is less, right? Payment is less, innovation is not coming. How will you survive? Outside you are getting good offers. Will you join? You will not join. This, so that can be, let's say. प्लस कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है कि इस तरह के और भी बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं. आप इस तरह से सोचो ना, सॉरी टू टेक सच एग्जाम्पल्स, कि अभी जो मान लो कि ये जो वन गर्ल दैट सिया नाम है, समथिंग सिया गर्ल, लेट्स से दैट, तो सिया एंड शी डिसाइड टू किल द पर्सन, द लेट्स से दैट कि he was supposed to become her husband, right? महाराष्ट्र, ठीक है. लेट्स टेक दैट कि वो लोग एजुकेटेड लोग हैं, अच्छे फैमिली के लोग हैं, दे आर एजुकेटेड ना, ठीक है. इनफैक्ट वाई का भी बिजनेस है, राइट? तो वो एक लेवल तक एजुकेटेड है, एटलीस्ट हम लोगों से ज़्यादा एजुकेटेड है. बट उसने किया क्या, राइट? एक छोटा ही सा मैटर है ना कि यू डू नॉट वांट टू मैरी दैट पर्सन, ठीक है. आप ये क्यों नहीं कह सकते पेरेंट्स से कि आई डोंट वांट टू मैरी हिम? इससे क्या लॉस होगा, राइट? इससे क्या लॉस होगा, राइट? बट उन्होंने जो डिसाइड किया, कौन कर सकता है ये? जबकि वो सक्सेस, आप सोचो ना, मैं तो कई बार बोलता हूँ कि जो मिडिल क्लास है, थोड़ा उससे अपर मिडिल क्लास है, वो प्रॉब्लम खरीदता है, उसके पास प्रॉब्लम होता नहीं है. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने प्रॉब्लम खरीदा है. अब उन्होंने 2 फैमिली के लाइफ को बेकार कर दिया. अब वो केस लड़ेंगे. आप हमारे देश में केस का पता ही है क्या हाल होता है. ठीक है, बाकी सोसाइटी से भी जाएंगे. आपका जो लाइफ एक चल रहा था सोसाइटी में, तो सोसाइटी से भी जाओगे आप. आई मीन टू से कि सोसाइटी विल आल्सो डिस्कार्ड यू. दिस, तो इट इज ए हेल, वर्स देन हेल. हेल का तो देखा नहीं है लोगों ने, बट इट इज वर्स देन हेल यू लिव. कौन करेगा ये? तो वाई आपने क्यों, आप सोसाइटी में, लेट्स से यू आर नॉट नोइंग हाउ टू लिव इन सोसाइटी, ये तो बोल सकते हैं ना. यू आर इंटेलिजेंट, यू आर एजुकेटेड, यू हैव रिसोर्स, सब कुछ है, राइट? ऐसा भी नहीं है कि यू आर सो, लेट्स से दैट, कि डेस्टिट्यूट, कि आपके अंदर एक डेप्रिवेशन है एंड देन यू डिड इट, right? But then ki you, let's kill him. This, so certainly it is not anyway a justified action, right? So those both side parents plus her life and her another person, right? So at least 6 persons' life you have put to hell. This, because simply you cannot tell कि I cannot marry him, right? This is what you can say कि role of emotional intelligence. यहाँ पे लग रहा है कि इंटेलिजेंस वर्क नहीं कर रहा है ना. That can be not only, there can be so many people. That's why I told again, we will not teach you emotional intelligence, but यू कैन टेल दैट कि देखो, जिसके पास इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस होगा ना, वो इमेज कॉन्शियस नहीं होगा, राइट? बिकॉज आई ऑलवेज से दैट कि a person who has emotional intelligence, he is always ready to start life from scratch. And if you are always ready to start life from scratch, so you will not reach to a level of that point where either you want to kill someone or you want to take your own life. This. And still, if you want to start from scratch, that will be better than both options. नहीं, तो बट इतना आसान नहीं होता है. That we have to understand. So that is how you can take relevant. तो डैनियल गोलमैन का ये मतलब नहीं था कि सेइंग कि ये relevant नहीं है, लेकिन you see family life, लोग drink करने लगते हैं. You know that कि अब we have one person in our office and he drinks, right? COVID time, his son died because of drinking. This. And that was spurious, you know that, कि adulterated, जो क्या बोलते हो, spurious ही बोलते हैं ना उसको, spurious liquor और adulterated जो होता है. This. आपको पता ही है लोकल liquors कैसे मिलते हैं हमारे देश में. This. और आपको ज़्यादा नशा वाला चाहिए तो उसमें काकरोच वगैरह, लिजर्ड्स वगैरह भी चाहिए आपको, ठीक है, नशा होने के लिए. Anyhow, sorry to say this. Now let's say that कि his son died, right? तो वो अच्छा खासा 16-17 साल का होगा, right? And he died because of consuming it. Thereafter also, he does not quit drinking. Yes. Even after death of son, you do not quit drinking. You can imagine. Right. तो problem behavioral problem है ना. He is a very efficient person, very good person when he is not in drunken condition, right? But when he drinks, he does not come office for. Let him come in his own senses, then he'll come to office, right? We removed at least 2 times to him, but then let's say that when he is not in drunken condition, he is a very good person, right? So there is a positive aspect, but then it happens. So I will tell you that it is a behavioral problem. You do not know how to live life. You are not able to live your life, let's say, manage the things. That becomes more important than how intelligent you are. This. And that condition is most of the youth class, you know that. Most of the youth class, आप देख सकते हो. आप ORN का देख लो सिनेरियो, बहुत दूर जाने की क्या जरूरत है, राइट? ORN में आजकल मान लो कि अगर आप ऊपर चिमनी लगा देते हैं, मान लो, राइट, ORN के ऊपर ऐसा कुछ चिमनी आ जाए, ठीक है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आधे लोगों का खाना बन जाएगा सिर्फ सिगरेट के स्मोक से. सॉरी टू से दैट. तो इतना ज़्यादा स्मोकिंग होता है, ठीक है, आई डोंट हैव एनीथिंग अगेंस्ट स्मोक, दोज पीपल स्मोक, बट इतना ज़्यादा स्मोकिंग होता है कि पूरा ORN जो स्मोक करता है उसको नहीं समझ में आएगा. जो नॉन स्मोकर है, जो थोड़ा पेशेंट है, जिसको एलर्जी है, वो ORN में आना ही नहीं चाहेगा. बस इन जनरल ORN में स्मोक का स्मेल उन लोगों को फील होता है, इन जनरल. बस तो why they have started, and then you cannot speak, otherwise you will become a stereotype. मेरे ही क्लास में one girl student sitting here, she told, sir, you are a stereotype. ठीक है, अगर सिगरेट पीने से ही आपको इक्वालिटी मिलता है तो चलो मैं भी 2-4 पैकेट दे देता हूँ. ठीक है. तो मतलब सी टोल्ड डैड कि वाई यू हैव प्रॉब्लम, गर्ल्स कैन स्मोक. ठीक है, स्मोक करो, हमारा क्या जाता है. इज इट असर्टिवनेस, राइट? नो, तो व्हाई यू हैव प्रॉब्लम? मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आई एम जस्ट डिपिक्टिंग। प्रॉब्लम तब होता है जो हमारे घर के होते हैं, तो उनका हेल्थ खराब हुआ तो लेट्स से कि टेंशन होता है। एनी हाउ, बट देन कि स्मोकिंग पहले ऐसे नहीं होता था, तो बट नाउ इट इज गर्ल्स इक्वली स्मोक दिस एंड फ्रीली स्मोक। एक होता है ना फ्रीली स्मोक दैट, बट प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट दिस, व्हाई यू आर स्मोकिंग दिस मच, दिस सोचो आप। तो प्रेशर्स यू आर नॉट एबल टू टैकल। यही तो है ना, सारे लोग तो इंटेलिजेंट हैं, सारे इंजीनियर डॉक्टर्स हैं ना, बट इतना ज्यादा स्मोकिंग क्यों कर रहे हैं जबकि पता है कि इट इज इंजूरियस टू योर हेल्थ? प्रेशर्स, अब और बहुत प्रेशर है। जैसे माय डॉटर हरसेल्फ सेज दैट कि बहुत प्रेशर है, अभी चुप रहो आप, गो आउट, दिस डोंट टॉक टू मी। तो जैसे उनको हर दिन प्रेशर होता है, राइट, एवरी डे दे आर फेसिंग प्रेशर, और प्रेशर के नाम पे यू कैन जस्टिफाई एनीथिंग, राइट, एज इफ अदर पीपल डू नॉट हैव प्रेशर। अब उस प्रेशर में आप क्या करोगे? हालांकि सी इज नॉट दैट वे, सी इज स्टिल गुड इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिहेवियर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ फूडिंग, इन टर्म्स ऑफ हैबिट, बट येस कि दे विल टेल कि दे आर अंडर लॉट्स ऑफ प्रेशर। जेनजी का जो प्रेशर होता है, बस एनी हाउ, the question is that कि it's emotional aspect. It does not matter कि how much intelligent you are, right? It matters कि how you live in that group. और हर दिन उनके स्कूल में कुछ ना कुछ होता रहता है। आई टोल्ड यू, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप डेली बनता है, डेली फ्रेंड्स डेली बनते हैं, और दिस, तो इतना तो फ्रीक्वेंसी हमारे यहाँ होता ही नहीं था। So this culture, let's say that they are facing emotional problem. Even if they may be better educated, they are better resourceful, but they have emotional problems. Yes. So that way, let's say that ki emotional intelligence has got relevance. Yes. This we can consider. And that is what I'll tell ki they are so image conscious, they are so other things, let's say this, what other thing people think, other aspect. This, anyhow, let's come to our topic, otherwise unnecessary thing we'll talk. Right, so let's come to this. So that is how he meant. लेकिन कि अगर आप इवन IAS बनना चाहते हो ना, तो आपको तो ये चाहिए ही चाहिए ना, नहीं तो CSAT क्वालिफाई नहीं होगा। एंड इतने सारे सब्जेक्ट्स को पढ़ने के लिए इंटेलिजेंस तो चाहिए, नहीं तो वो कॉम्प्रिहेंड नहीं होगा। दिस, तो इंटेलिजेंस हेल्प्स यू इन कॉम्प्रिहेंडिंग द थिंग्स, एंड इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस हेल्प यू इन रिएक्टिंग द थिंग्स, कैसे हम रिएक्ट करेंगे, दिस, तो दैट कैन बी द रिलेशन। So this is holistic competence. That's all. We'll talk like this, right? Then DOPT brought this. अब ये भी देख लो, ये तो अननेसेसरी पूरे वर्ल्ड को क्या किया ना, एक आदमी ने पूरे वर्ल्ड को इतने सारे ट्रबल में डाल दिया। ठीक है, वो ईरान इशू व सेटल्ड इशू, जो न्यूक्लियर उनका एग्रीमेंट हुआ था ओबामा के टाइम पर, दिस US ईरान न्यूक्लियर डील जो हुआ था, ठीक है, and that could be dealt, they could have dealt through negotiations. This is, it can be, and but the person who is talking to Ukraine and Russia for a peace की war नहीं होना चाहिए, and that person himself, let's say that कि वो regret करेंगे बहुत सालों तक कि how, why they did it, this, and the entire world is dragged into this that way. So he may have intelligence, but he lacks emotional intelligence. ठीक है, the same problem has been dealt by other US president in a sensitive manner. This, instead of attacking Iran, they have tried to negotiate, contain, build pressure. That is how they have done it. अभी आप सोचो कि उन्होंने इतने सारे बच्चों को मार दिया. जस्ट इमेजिन कि 160-70 बच्चे होंगे या 30 जो भी बच्चे होंगे स्कूल में, उनको उन्होंने मार दिया. मतलब this they knew कि there are children. Yes. तो then you can justify for what you will justify. ईरान न्यूक्लियर वेपन अगर हो जाएगा तो कितना थ्रेट होगा ये किसी को पता नहीं है, लेकिन उससे उससे ज्यादा हमने ऑलरेडी लोगों को मार दिया है, चाहे वो दोनों साइड से मारे या जो से मारे, बट अल्टीमेटली द रिजल्ट इज दैट यू हैव किल्ड मोर देन दैट नंबर ऑफ पीपल. दिस, तो ये जो परसिव्ड वार है, परसिव्ड थ्रेट कि इफ ईरान बिकम्स न्यूक्लियर इट इज नोबडीज इंटरेस्ट. भाई वो कितना थ्रेट होगा ईरान वो तो पता नहीं है, न्यूक्लियर वेपन हो जाएगा तो, लेकिन उसके पहले जो आपने किया है वो क्या है, बट इट इज जस्टिफाइड. इसलिए वो थिंकर ने बोला था ना कि मोरालिटी इज डिसाइडेड बाय दोज हु आर इन पावर. दिस, और पूरे वर्ल्ड के लोग ये मान चुके हैं कि यस ईरान इज ए थ्रेट. बस पूरे वर्ल्ड के लोग उसको एक्सिस ऑफ इविल भी हमने डिक्लेयर किया है. लोगों के माइंड में ये सब है, सब लोग बोलेंगे कि यस ईरान इज लाइक दिस एंड दैट, दिस दैट वे. एंड दिस इज हाउ यू हैव चेंज द मोरल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द पीपल. So even if US can do that, but still US will have acceptance. Right. Even the people of the US, let's say, those who can claim to be very liberal and etc., they will have acceptance. Yes, ये जरूरी है. Anyhow, so but let's do not go in diplomacy, international relation. That is the equation which you can use when questions are asked. Let's say this. If that type of questions are asked, like let's say कि question was asked related to integrity and knowledge. अब knowledge part यहाँ लिखो. And integrity is this. So let's say knowledge plus integrity. It will be ideal. This and knowledge minus integrity, it will be dangerous. That way. या भी जो इसरो का जो कोई किसी को इन एस्पियोनाज लीकिंग इंफॉर्मेशन किसी को पनिशमेंट मिला था, this. So knowledge minus integrity, you can take any IAS name. Tinu Joshi. Yes. Then question is saying that ki integrity with less knowledge, without knowledge. So integrity without knowledge is effective, ineffective, suppose. So how it is ineffective? Integrity without knowledge is ineffective. Right, because we need expertise. We need expertise. This. That's why we are promoting rule to role. The lack of expertise result into lack of performance. This. The wisdom was not applied. Okay. So basically, you should know that ki SP Gupta case, which remains an example. So that was related to project. Coal secretary he was, and he was not punished for lack of integrity. Rather, he was punished for lack of wisdom. Wisdom in the sense कि not applying your wisdom to check the veracity of, you can say that, uh, projects, the companies which applied for the project. This way you can see this. And this way knowledge, yes, उसी तरह से this you can say this कि those who are senior officers, government asked them to, let's say, take voluntary retirement because somehow they think that they have become inefficient, their knowledge is no longer that much worth, we can consider, so that can be considered. So example are even more than 100 civil servants, they have been either asked to, let's say, seek voluntary retirement or government has removed them. Yes. So you can have both types of example, and that way it can be answered. That's why we need to have, towards end you will talk that there should be holistic competence, right? That is what about aptitude part. Now we'll take one by one those terminologies, let's say this. So integrity, basically structure क्या होना चाहिए? Structure, let's say that structure में you should know meaning, you should know relevance, and you should know positive and negative examples. That is the structure. So we have given in that printed note, you'll see that we have given almost 140 terminologies. No, we have given almost around 140 terminologies, right? उसमें ये है कि they have been explained some of them, कुछ terms का अच्छा explanation भी है. This वहाँ पे एक चीज होगा कि examples, let's say, all terms may not have. This way, so it is not necessary to give example in 140 terms. It will be repetition, you know, that is unnecessary also. But what you should do is that the number of topics we will cover, we will give you example. That will be enough because examples are repeating in nature. In examination, in that 13 question, you are going to get 2-3 such question or one such question where you have to write. The examples are repeating in nature, so you can repeat here and there. This, it is not necessary to know. What you have to know is that you should know a literal meaning. Literal meaning means the exact, let's say this ko we generally say that precise and concise. This, the precise and concise, let's say that is, let's say, so you should know the precise meaning of that. Concise means you should write in very short. You can see, let's see how you have to write. You should not write more than 2-3 lines of definition if you are writing. Then you should be able to relate with, it is about relating. The relate to, the now entire topics you know and other things, so you can relate it. And then you should tell any positive example, tell any negative example. This, that way. So that should be the structure. So let's take that. We will start with integrity. This. So meaning is, so who told this? The relevance में आप quotation से लिख दो. That's, no. Do we remember who told this? Yes.
So one statement also was said by Voltaire related to emotional intelligence that a fool is not a person who does a mistake, but the one who repeats it.
Okay. Yes, वोल्टेयर का इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस में भी है स्टेटमेंट, राइट. तो yes, I think there is one more. I did not tell deliberately, right. और भी एक स्टेटमेंट है इंटीग्रिटी से लेकर, एनी कोटेशन, राइट. Yes, right. Morality cannot be legislated, it must be cultivated. Martin Luther King Jr. Yes, that can be. Carl Lewis, integrity means integrity is doing right things when no one is watching. This. So, Carl Lewis, integrity is doing right thing when no one is watching. Watching. Next is that there is a trend of decline in level of integrity. There is a trend of decline in level of integrity that even young officers are getting red-handed caught in corruption. Next, increase in level of corruption. Level of corruption. Like corruption perception index. Next, algorithmic biasness, manipulation, black box, and challenges in bracket, techno-economic challenge to corruption. Techno-economic challenge to corruption. A good example of integrity. कोई भी एग्जाम्पल दे दो, कितने सारे एग्जाम्पल. क्या नाम था? सुनील शुक्ला. यस, सुनील शुक्ला. Yes. Whistle. Yes, Sanjeev Chaturvedi, right? That's negative example. Abhishek.
Kumar, IAS 5%.
अच्छा, अभिषेक कुमार था. अभिकेश प्रकाश. फिर मेरा फैक्ट गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. जब बच्चे गलत लिख देते हैं ना, तो अपना फैक्ट डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है. तो मैं कभी भूलता नहीं था कुछ फैक्ट्स, बट मॉर्निंग क्लास में वो 1937, 38 इसलिए किसी बच्चे ने आंसर में लिख दिया था 38। ठीक है, तो फिर माई फैक्ट लेट्स से स्टार्टेड एनी हाउ इतने सारे फैक्ट्स हैं। तो अभी वाला हम दे देते एग्जाम्पल। हरियाणा में आईएएस का नाम क्या था? पंकज अग्रवाल। तो देख लेते हैं नया, इसलिए नया एग्जाम्पल मिल जाएगा। Yes. प्रदीप कुमार, अच्छा ये प्रमोटेड है, चलो इससे कोई क्या आईएएस लिख सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं। राम कुमार सिंह, राम नाम है। पंकज अग्रवाल। These are the three officers. PRP, Pradeep, Ram, Pankaj. Yes, so that is how we have to write integrity, right? So then integrity knowledge also you can write like this.
So Gandhiji said integrity is not dividing your thoughts and beliefs from your actions.
Yes, it thought and action should match.
There should be
Action and deeds. Right. This is how. Yes, yes.
इसलिए किधर डाल सकते हैं?
Right. वो डिपेंड्स, वो डेफिनेशन में ही लिख सकते हैं। बहुत सारे लोग उसी को डेफिनेशन में लिखते हैं। यहीं पे लेट्स से दैट कि इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट इंटीग्रिटी का जो अब तो बच्चों ने चेंज कर दिया है, या बात नहीं रहा है। इंटीग्रिटी मीन्स दिस, बट देन कि इससे पता नहीं चला, ये नैरो डेफिनेशन है, तो जनरली वी डू नॉट टेल। हाँ, यस, बट इट इज साउंडनेस इन मोरल प्रिंसिपल। तो साउंडनेस इन मोरल प्रिंसिपल में चोर के पास भी तो इंटीग्रिटी है ना, राइट। इंटीग्रिटी ये है कि सीक्रेट शेयर नहीं करना है, एविडेंस नहीं देना है, दृश्यम, दिस दैट यू कैन कंसिडर। इंटीग्रिटी ये है कि लॉयल टू हिटलर, राइट, तो वो भी एक इंटीग्रिटी है। एंड वी विल नॉट शेयर एनी सीक्रेट अबाउट हिटलर इवन इफ यू किल अस, ये भी इंटीग्रिटी है, बट दैट इज नॉट इंटीग्रिटी। Yes, integrity does not mean soundness in moral principle that way. So that is how there is a difference, let's say that, difference between honesty and integrity. The difference between honesty and integrity. This honesty means so let's take that कि how we differentiate honesty integrity. So honesty does not tell rightness in action. तो लेट्स टेक दैट कि अभी मान लो इंसिडेंट हुआ था महाराष्ट्र में. इन महाराष्ट्र some people entered inside one hospital, I guess, and in the cabin they beat one doctor. Even one women doctor was also manhandled. This, and then they came out and they accepted. Yes, they have beaten. This, they accepted. Even they accepted in media. Yes, they have beaten. This. So when they say that they have beaten, they are honest. They are honest. They are truthful. They are standing by what they have done. This is called honesty. But whether their action has goodwill, no. So honesty does not guarantee that goodwill. This. But integrity, if they have, they will not do that. Soundness in moral principle, it indicates this. It's like integrity is something indivisible, integral. Anything that is integral, it is whole. You cannot divide it. This. It is indivisible, it is unbreakable, it is uncorruptible. तो जिस पर्सन के पास इंटीग्रिटी है, he can give his life, but he will not compromise. क्यों? क्यों ऐसा करेगा?
Due to soundness in the moral principle.
His conscience will not allow. फर्स्ट. सेकेंड, वो जानता है कि अगर ये करेगा तो इसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस किसके ऊपर होने वाला है, तो वो नहीं चाहता है कि उसके वजह से दूसरों को लॉस हो. राइट. जैसे आपको बोला जाएगा कि आप जा करके आपने मारपीट किया, ठीक है, तो उससे देखो, अगर आप किसी को पब्लिकली मारोगे तो उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस क्या है आप समझते हो? ह्यूमिलिएशन. उस पर्सन का सिर्फ ह्यूमिलिएशन नहीं होता है, पूरे डॉक्टर फ्रेटर्निटी का ह्यूमिलिएशन होता है. फिर उसके घर में जो लोग हैं, उनके फैमिली के जो लोग हैं, बच्चे हैं, वो ह्यूमिलिएटेड फील करते हैं. फिर उसका एक नेगेटिव इमोशनल रिपरकशंस होते हैं. फिर उसके जो बच्चे जब स्कूल में जाएंगे तो उसको सारे जो अदर बच्चे हैं, यू नो व्हाट दे विल ट्रीट. मतलब एक लंबा चेन है उस रिएक्शन का. वो कौन सोच सकता है? जिसके पास विजडम है, इंटीग्रिटी है, इसलिए वो ये काम नहीं करेगा. बस. बट जो सोचता ही नहीं है और बिलिगरेंस दिखा रहा है कि हाँ हमने किया है, जो करना है कर लो, तो उसके पास बेसिक विजडम ही नहीं है. बट ही इज ऑनेस्ट, ही इज एडमिटिंग. तो व्हेन ए थीफ, लेट्स से पर्सन हु मर्डर्स surrenders in the court and says कि I have murdered, he is honest. So there is a huge difference between honesty and integrity. That is how. But generally we do not teach. कभी पूछा नहीं, we expected in past. But ऐसे कभी question उन्होंने पूछा नहीं, तो we have, let's say कि just differences we tell, but don't dictate anything on that. So same thing it happens, let's say that कि honesty, if you talk, if you compare honesty and integrity, but in general parlance, एक general parlance होता है, एक generic use होता है. तो in generic use में honesty is equal to integrity. ठीक है. लोग honest term को use करते हैं, integrity कहने हैं. Yes. People will have more use of honesty rather than integrity, and there is honesty is best policy. There is a punch line. Honesty is best policy. Business का एक punch line है, right? This way. So in general, honesty has good values, but if you compare it with integrity, then you come to know the other side of honesty. That is the difference. So one can be honest, but one may not have integrity. That. Right. So that way we can consider, right? Then next is impartiality, non-partisanship. Sorry, it is not in the. Achha, yes, it is. Let's see that. being fair and objective, being fair and objective in decision, decision, which also includes, okay, apolitical and neutral decision. This relevance, right? In public services, first there is lack of impartiality, or there is biasness in conduct. There is biasness in conduct. Like all recruitment scams, let's say, all recruitment scams show lack of impartiality. This the recent 50 IAS officers act of buying land, and one IAS secretary to Ministry of Agriculture getting loan benefit in bracket wife and son. Impartiality demands within that. Impartiality demands avoiding conflict of interest and remaining fair in decision, similar to John Rawls' theory of justice. Veil of ignorance and reflective equilibrium. Next, justice is the first virtue of all social institutions. Justice is the first virtue of all social institutions. John Rawls. Right? Next, non-partisanship is largely related to conduct in political context of being neutral, apolitical in conduct. This apolitical in conduct. Let's write two examples. तो वो था आशीष कुमार पांडे मिश्रा,
Ashish, the school
Uh-huh.
Ashish Mishra.
Ashish Mishra. That's it. Ashish Mishra. Ashish Mishra. Right. IPS Bihar. IPS Bihar. Which Supreme Court remarked, you should be loyal to Constitution, not politician. You should be loyal to Constitution, not politician. Not politician. This Sardar Patel remarked, this public servants should be loyal to Constitution, and should never compromise impartiality. Should never compromise impartiality. Impartiality. B.R. Ambedkar also spoke. B.R. Ambedkar also spoke in similar manner, including cultivation of constitutional morality. Constitutional morality. Constitutional morality. Next, Max Weber. Max Weber considered neutrality. Max Weber considered neutrality an important characteristics for rule of law. Rule of law. Neutrality cannot be achieved without non-partisan behavior. Non-partisan behavior. So this is about impartiality. Let's see this. इनफैक्ट ये सारा एग्जाम्पल्स आप लिख सकते हो. ये सारे डिफरेंट डायमेंशंस में अगर हम देखते हैं, अगर आप डायमेंशंस की बात करते हैं, लेट्स से दिस, impartiality, non-partisan. So we told about recruitment, let's say this. You know that recruitment is scams. This happens. Welfare. Programs. This this So in fact, let's say that if you combine integrity, impartiality, and non-partisanship. So without this, even if it is difficult to, let's say that maintain stability order in society. Yes. Means suppose you have to write one full answer on that to link with different things, so that way you can link. Because on impartiality they have asked a full question, not only just terminology definition. Ashish Mishra, let's see. Yes. Right? So we'll take next. Next is objectivity. पॉजिटिव एग्जाम्पल्स में तो आपको वही सब सारे नाम आएगा. अशोक खेमका, यस, अशोक खेमका, प्रभाकर चौधरी, ई श्रीधरन, टी एन सेशन, दिस तुकाराम मुंडे, तुकाराम मुंडे, so these things can be some names. Right. Next is objectivity. It means decision based on observable phenomenon. Decision based on observable phenomenon. That is a decision which can be verified and measured. Verified and measured based on facts. This, like this, let's see, relevance. Relevance, that's a civil servant or civil servant has to take decision which is impartial and merit based. A civil servant has to be economical and efficient. A civil servant has to be economical and efficient for optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources. Therefore, objectivity can bring rationality. Objectivity can bring rationality, and critical thinking based on virtue ethics, virtue ethics. Let's positive example, objectivity. This Prasanna Venkatesh, Illuru district, Andhra Pradesh, Illuru district, Andhra Pradesh, in which fund utilization of different departments were integrated through dashboard to eliminate leakage of funds. The performance resulted into district getting selected, getting awarded PM Excellence in 2026. This any other example? Objectivity. Yes, Sridharan completing the project before time. Sridharan, completion of projects before time. Yes. Jawaharlal Nehru statement, facts are facts. Facts are facts. They will not change as per our likes and dislikes. They will not change as per our likes and dislikes. Right? So this is about objectivity. This empathy. This empathy. This it means thinking and feeling from others' perspective. Thinking and feeling from others' perspective. What they think and feel. It demands presence of emotional intelligence. Next, relevance. A public servant cannot have public service spirit. A public servant cannot have public service spirit of seva bhav, nishkam karma, without empathy, without empathy. This it shows in one's conduct. It shows in one's conduct mindfulness, this consideration, mindfulness, consideration, compassion, emotional support, and sensitivity. Like Gautam Buddha, when he had sight of suffering people, it was empathy which helped him understand the problems from common man's perspective. Yes. There's Suman Nala कौन सा ट्राइब था? कोडावरी. It is like this. Kodauri tribe. That's Kodauri tribe. So it was her empathy. That is understanding the problems of the tribe, displacement, which resulted into action. Negative examples. Yes. Harjot Kaur, IAS, Bihar. She lacked sensitivity. When she scolded a girl, on sanitary pad matter. This. So enough, let's write. Empathy is needed for honesty, integrity, and this compassionate behavior. Let's say compassion. It is an act of showing. An urge to do something for vulnerable section of society. It is empathy plus action. Relevance. relevance. Merely showing sensitivity is not important. Merely showing sensitivity. Merely showing sensitivity is not important. Rather, it is important to take action. It is important to take action. Take action. Like many people show empathy. Many people show empathy to the problems of poor section, but very few come forward to help. Very few come forward to help. Next, bureaucracy has ethical blindness. Bureaucracy has ethical blindness. Blindness that it is more rule adherent. Rule adherent. It suffers from behavioral problems. It suffers from behavioral problems. In bracket, bureaupathology. Bureaupathology. Yes, bureaupathology. Bureaupathology. This. So example, right? So positive examples. Positive examples. First, we should write public servants because these terms are in the context of public servants.
That IPS that went to Manipur and then did face-to-face solution of there was issue between two tribes. Not able to remember the name. It starts from M dot.
So क्या मुकेश सिंह
Yes. Think
government sent Mukesh Singh, who was Ladakh DGP.
because it is some money.
Yes. So he was sent to Manipur. That you are talking. Manipur Director General means he was made DGP of Manipur.
Sir, we mentioned him in emotional intelligence. This case we have referred in emotional intelligence. That he did face-to-face.
अच्छा वो printed notes में होगा.
नहीं sir, class.
We mentioned.
Emotional intelligence. M Rajkumar.
We have mentioned. I am not aware. मैं ही बोल रहा हूँ. चलो एक नया एग्जाम्पल भी मिल गया उसके हिसाब से. ये भी अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. तो मुकेश सिंह यू कैन राइट लेट्स से मुकेश सिंह. तो फ्रॉम डीजीपी लद्दाख टू डीजीपी मणिपुर. And he has actively led peace dialogues and discussions. Actively led peace dialogues and let's say discussions with local community leaders. Local community leaders. Yes.
So there is one Himanshu Gautam, IAS. He is Chief Development Officer of Hapur district in Uttar Pradesh. He facilitated the success of Ocean Mission in the backward regions, particularly rural areas.
Mhm.
Sakshi Shani. Sakshi Shani.
Mhm.
She was IAS DC Amritsar during the floods, and she was rewarded for managing that.
Lots of examples.
PM
Sakshi.
mentioned,
Eh?
Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan mentioned her about that.
What is Sakshi?
Sakshi Sani.
Sa-
SAWHNEY.
SAW.
HNEY.
So Sahni. Sakshi Sahni. DC of. Let's. And which name you are talking?
Himanshu Gautam.
Himanshu Gautam. Yes. IS. DM.
Chief Development Officer.
CDO. Which district?
Hapur.
Hapur. Uttar Pradesh. Right. Negative examples. Same आएगा वही. Harjot Kaur, Ayush Sinha, this Abhishek Agrawal, this the DM who is beating a student, one graduation student while copying this
पुणे पोस्ट केस
पुणे पोस्ट केस
वाला
में तो एक सिंगल नाम नहीं आएगा, ये तो सारे लोगों का नाम आएगा. लेट्स से दैट वे. कोई भी ऐसा केस जहाँ पे लेट्स से कि करप्शन है, वेलफेयर स्कीम है, सिंगल नाम है तो आएगा. इसलिए कि इफ समवन इज डूइंग करप्शन तो लेट्स राइट दिस के लेट्स से एनी एक्ट ऑफ करप्शन, any act of corruption is manifestation of any act of corruption. Any act of corruption is manifestation of lack of empathy and compassion. Lack of empathy and compassion. As those who indulge in corruption, they simply cannot think of consequences of their acts on people. Acts on people. Yes. So that way we can consider this. Then all religions teach compassion. All religion teach compassion. Compassion, and most of the philosophical leaders, including Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, teach compassion. Teach compassion. In South Africa, truth and reconciliation. Truth and reconciliation. Reconciliation through which instead of taking revenge, people were forgiven. People were forgiven. तो एक स्टेटमेंट था हमने दिया था ना, वो वी गेव यू आई एम बिकॉज वी आर उबुंटू.
I am because we are.
So this is how done compassion. This then tolerance. Let's say this. Tolerance. This. Having accommodative है. Having accommodative and permissive attitudes. Permissive. Having accommodative and permissive attitude towards others, views, values, tradition, custom and culture. Tradition, custom and culture. Tradition, custom and culture. This relevance. India is known for tolerance. India is known for tolerance. It is one of its social ethos. It is one of its social ethos. Public servants are also supposed to promote this pluralism, means plurality, inclusivity, and cultural diversity. This, they have to be also tolerant towards citizens' conduct. Tolerance towards citizens' conduct. Okay. As their purpose for the service. remark by Mahatma Gandhi. Remark by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. This example. Any example? तो वो राठौर अगेन फिर से नाम भूल गया मैं. Singing national anthem. Yes, that is also, let's say. और क्या नाम था राठौर. जैसे चेतन सिंह राठौर. Yes. Negative, so you can write same example. Harjot Kaur, Ayush Sinha, this, that. Plus, if you write more on that, so you can write attitude wala, let's say. Attitude say you can link it. That we have told Gramsci. Hegemony. This, that can be considered. Or Rajiv Bhargava. Ego superiority. This. But intolerance is positive also. Intolerance is right. Tolerance does not mean tolerating injustice. Right? So tolerance towards people, intolerance towards injustice.
So one negative example is Jyoti Yadav.
तो basically Jyoti Yadav,
She actually herself broke the leg of some old man. The video was surfacing. She's an IAS, and she broke a leg of old man while during a lathi charge.
अभी तो ये तो मेरठ वाला भी चल रहा है. वो तो वैन में जाके पर्सनल राइट ग्रेसेस निकालते हैं. तो कुछ समथिंग क्या नाम है समथिंग. Anyhow, we have another good example. Pooja Kumari Jha. So Pooja Kumar is basically Indian Foreign Service officer in Bangladesh. So she, let's say that she pointed a map which was on display. And that map was wrongfully, let's say that, depicting Jammu and Kashmir as part of Pakistan. It is not tolerating this. So it is an intolerance, the not showing tolerance towards something which is wrong. This or first example we are writing of any foreign service. It is Pooja Kumari Jha.
Context.
The context is that she was attending one diplomatic meeting in Bangladesh. In that diplomatic meeting, since it was with Bangladesh and India, let's say, कुछ occasion होगा, so they will have to display country map. So Indian map that was on display, in let's say in that map, Jammu and Kashmir was being shown in Pakistan. So basically, it is a meeting of, let's say, cultural meeting, whether you are having let's say you are trying to improve your relation, you can consider. But in the meeting, she raised this point, that this map is not right. Yes. So she earned appreciations on social media. Yes. So this is how we have to write.